someone walked him first. And could Empire have been any more insane last night?
You're beyond pity. You and that punk Travis Wild deserve it.
The co-hosts are trying to sort out just what the hell happened on the wildest episode yet. And speaking of game-changing TV, it doesn't get more pulse-pounding than American Crime. And Felicity Huffman and Timothy Hutton have a sneak preview of the groundbreaking series that's about to become your new obsession.
I don't understand why they called you.
I'm his father.
No, I don't understand why they called you first.
And he went from Tiger Beat teen heartthrob to the Beast. To powerhouse producer. Robby Benson's telling you how his son is following in his footsteps with help from Whoopi.
I know when something's right and when it's not. This is not right.
This is The View with Whoopi, Nicole Wallace, Rosie Perez, and today, Cristela, Alonzo, and Raven-Symone are jumping back into the co-host chairs. It all starts now.
Right now.
Baby, you are better than the Spice Girls right now. My God, you're an entire cabinet of Spice.
Pinsies is really good.
That's right. Hey, you know what? We didn't know we were going to be so lucky today, but we have Stacy London with us. Okay, I can't even do anything except say, did you see Empire last night? More stuff happens on this show than happens in an entire season on any other show.
Oh, I know.
I mean, it was crazy. There was an amazing elevator scene, you know? It's three brothers. One of them is bipolar, and he's off his meds. He's really sort of going out of his mind. And then he gets stuck in the elevator with his two younger brothers. And the middle brother says, listen, man, calm down, you know, because he's really, he's
in it.
Going. And he says, do you remember how we used to, like, take care of ourselves when Mom and Dad were, you know, messing up and stuff? You know, Raven is on the show.
Yeah.
But I think what got to me about this is when I was watching it with my middle granddaughter, and I realized that what this show also does, that almost no other show I can remember does, is it's a family dynamic. The middle child always is making the peace. And so in watching this, and because, you know, the older brother, who is just out of his mind, his brother,
he has bipolar syndrome.
He is bipolar.
Yeah.
But off meds.
And
so
off his meds, and he's just out of control, and he's slamming people and all kinds of stuff. It's a wonderful, I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but I think it's a great show that tells you what families, not black families.
It shows you real life.
That's a sign of a good show, real life.
But
do you think it's because Lee, you know, we had Lee on the show yesterday.
Yes.
He comes from film. I think he really understands dimension when it comes to character.
And Danny Strong, who wrote it with him, I think understands that getting these little things in the relationships among siblings right is what takes it from being a show. And I see some of our audience members crying as hard as I was last night. I was weeping. My husband is like, I think this show might be too much for you. I'm like, get out of the way! But
I have to tell you, I was doing it. Because I thought, my God, I grew up without siblings. And so to see family come together in that way, even though there's all this other hailstorm going on, you know.
Yeah.
It knocked me out.
The other thing that they get right is that money doesn't solve the problem.
No.
You know, these boys grew up, their mom Cookie was in jail and
17 years.
Yeah, for 17 years. And they held each other together, and now they have more money than God. They have the empire. And they still have all their pain.
Yeah.
And I think, well, that's what makes some TV real.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
you know, you write it, you know, your show is real.
Yeah,
You
your
know.
show's
To me, I'm such a fan of TV. TV was my best friend growing up, and I always feel like this show, Empire, has a great theatrical feel to it. And I grew up loving theater, couldn't afford to ever see a theater show, and that's what I think good TV does. Good TV brings real theater to people that might not be able to afford it or have access to it. And what a great thing it is.
Yes.
What a great thing TV can be when it's done great.
Agree. Totally agree. But I love it because it's like Dynasty.
No,
I love it because
it's Shakespeare and it's
Shakespearean.
Now, I know you can't tell us anything. I know that.
What happens, girl?
But because she comes out of nowhere, okay? Her baby daddy is a gay man.
Jamal.
Okay, Jamal. And there's all this stuff going on. People singing all this stuff, and just at the last, like, 5 minutes of the show, here she comes with a little girl. She says, sing, baby, sing, sing. She brings this little girl, and she drops the kid off and leaves.
For like 5 episodes, though.
Oh, my God. It's the best.
Yeah, I mean, she settled in. I will say, when Olivia does come back, the drama?
Yeah.
The drama, boo.
The drama.
More?
just-
I can't take much more.
Yeah.
We're almost at the season finale, which you know is an amazing
My head's gonna
episode.
explode.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's gonna be.
We're gonna
Miss Debbie Allen.
come get us next morning to come to work.
She saw
She saw Empire.
I'm worried about you. Now your husband's going to need an EpiPen or something.
2 weeks in a row that I have been standing like this. Oh my God! And my husband's like, sit down.
I forget when Cookie talks, I'm like, yeah, girl, we did. Yes, girl. Yes, like that. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. That was for me. But when she drinks, she says, we used to drink this stuff in prison. And there is a whole scene where she drinks. She says, the stuff you all are drinking is garbage. Baby, by the time that scene is over, they are all like, but she is the only one who can move. Yes. It's the greatest thing ever. And you know, yesterday we talked about the cats who took over this island in Japan. But this morning, there's even more evidence going viral that shows that the animal takeover is upon us. Take a look. Okay, now look. This line is opening the damn door. The line opened the door. The lady pooped and then was able to get the door closed. Now, a bison came running up. I mean, I'm sorry. A lot of people don't go on safari. We know.
My dad was like, we go to Yellowstone, Yosemite, and he'd be like, you know, my mom, Ron, put the kids in front of the buffalo. My mom was like, I'm gonna put, all right. So we'd just get in though. I know. I'm sorry.
Those animals don't want us so close. They do not.
Don't do the dumbest things. And speaking of animals taking over, yesterday in Hot Topics, we talked about Hulk, the 175-pound pit bull who went viral for howling with his adorable 3-year-old best friend Jordan grinning. Take a look. Look, what is he saying? So, we had to see it for ourselves. So please say hello to Hulk, the American Pit Bull Terrier, Jordan and Jordan's mom and dad, Lisa and Marlon. Come on. We're coming from there. So, Marlon, you're not afraid of letting your little boy play with this big old dog? I mean, this is his best buddy, right?
Oh, absolutely. They're the best of friends, you know. You can take a look at him. I mean, he's mellow. He soaks up the crowd.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. With dogs, you know, it's all about, you know, proper ownership and leadership. Strong leadership.
Absolutely. And Jordan, do you have your harmonica with you?
He likes this.
Jordan?
He's like, look at me.
I know. Yeah. Will you play? Okay.
Okay, let's do it. Go ahead.
Look at Hulk when you do it.
Play it. Go ahead. Go ahead, play it. Give it, really play it.
More than
Play it.
We gotta give some applause.
We thank Jordan and his dad Lisa and Marlon for bringing Hulk over. We love him. We love y'all. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Last week, Kimmel called in the pros to take down the anti-vaccination movement, but check out how he just gave him another dose. Next.
Hey, now welcome back. You know, emails are over the headlines, all over the headlines. You know, Hillary Clinton says she wants the public to see the emails that she sent from her personal account when she was Secretary of State to prove there's nothing scandalous in them. But the more important investigation was into the Ferguson Police Department, which led to the firing and suspension of high-level officers who were sending racist emails from their official work accounts.
Idiots.
It's ridiculous.
Can I, on the Hillary beats, just 2 quick points. You know, one, there was a law that required her to send her official diplomatic correspondence through a State Department.gov email account.
True.
She did break the law, not just the spirit and feeling of it, but the law.
Install a server? She installed it.
I have
it
one
wasn't
too,
there.
GoDaddy.gov, but it's like you said on the other day, like getting an email. So she broke the law. But here's the other thing about the Clintons. It's what they do. It's how they roll, and nobody cares. So I think, you know, the media, my friends in journalism, my friends in news have their hair on fire. The media elites are going to talk about this for a week. The Clintons are going to do what they always do. They're going to blame it on 2 people that somehow always end up being responsible in the public side, Republicans and the media, and the Clintons will roll on.
But doesn't all politicians kind of break the law in some kind of way?
No, they don't. Honestly, they don't.
That they hide from us and don't tell anybody about?
No,
I think we should say that the law came into effect in the middle of her.
2009, so right after Obama was sworn in. The State Department had plenty of time to get Hillary Clinton
and 4 years,
to do what President Obama does.
They could have said something, and so maybe the State Department needs a little shakedown too, because maybe they forgot.
Well,
maybe they forgot.
She's a smart political person who could have said, maybe, you know,
I think it's hard when you over in Benghazi. I think it's hard when you're fighting stuff all over the world to remember, oh, get my email server together.
But wait, I'm curious. She tweeted, right? She said, I want everybody to see my emails, but it's the emails that she decided to give to the State Department.
And what Jon Stewart said last night was brilliant. So they said, oh, we turned over 50,000, and that's a big number. And Jon Stewart said, well, yeah, but there are bigger numbers. I mean, there's more email.
Well,
so,
maybe some of the emails should not be turned over.
Maybe they're personal.
But I think they'll probably have to go through them, because if she's sending, like, portrayed as very sensitive information through her personal server, I kind of think that's kind of dopey, and they'll figure it out, and she'll say, well, too bad.
There's also the Ferguson emails where they talk about Obama and his monkey-looking self, which is absolutely ridiculous, and you want this more from the South than where I'm thinking it is right now. I mean, I'm expecting it more from the South just because they took forever, but I'm just surprised that humans are being stupid.
I'm surprised that it's a job that's supposed to be to protect everyone, and I don't feel safe knowing that anybody would disregard one group over another. How does that make me feel safe? Because I'm a woman of color, you know, and I want to know that whoever is protecting me is really out to protect me.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you.
But we don't live in that society. That's not what we know.
There are a lot of those officers out there that are out there to protect.
Why are we finding out about it now?
One of the things,
the investigation,
because they just did an investigation.
But I mean, you know, before anything happened in Ferguson?
Well, no, because here's the thing. Because officers are people, you're going to get boneheads, and they're going to slip through the cracks.
There's some amazing
there are amazing cops out there, and we say, but you know what? Now that we know that this actually does exist, that people know it's not just playing the race card, that this actually does exist, maybe we'll be a little careful, more careful, about who gets the damn job.
And you know that the people
that they're pulling over, there is a stereotype. We had this big ordeal back in 9/11, you know, racial profiling. And maybe I'm a little bit of a sissy when I say, maybe you shouldn't sell drugs and wear baggy pants and look crazy for them to like pull you over and have a suspicion about it.
How about they see your pants in the car?
This is true. Okay,
and they're pulling people.
You're right.
No, but they're also pulling people over and they're finding less than they did before.
Well, and what the investigation showed, what was startling is how programmatic and systematic it was. This was financial. They were funding city government functions on the backs of lower-income African-American residents of the town. They created, in effect, a debtor's prison because they would, so 85% of all traffic stops and 90% of all citations given by Ferguson cops were to blacks, including 95% of jaywalking tickets. I don't ever worry about getting a ticket for jaywalking, but if you're black in Ferguson, you should be very scared.
Yeah, I do.
Maybe a little bit classist? Is it more of the lower tax bracket that
boneheadian.
In all races?
It's boneheadian.
All races.
Well,
You know?
I mean, the racial statistics are startling. And what I wondered reading this, and there are a couple, I mean, under Eric Holder, this has been a focus of his, the civil rights investigations. I wonder if you shine a spotlight everywhere, what would you see?
Well,
that's what you would
I just think that in Ferguson, this was a slow boil, and it wasn't, you know, until something outrageous happened.
But it wasn't a slow boil to those of us who get stopped.
That's right.
We know.
My brother goes
You know,
through it all.
I mean, your brother goes through it, my brother gets caught in my car. They got him sitting on with handcuffs.
And it goes back to Eric Gardner, right? So Eric Gardner did something that Eric Gardner was the Staten Island man who was selling cigarettes. That was a crime that could have been punished by writing a ticket. How did he end up dead? You know?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But you know what? This is an ongoing thing. We're going to come up on this, and it will come up on sexism and for the rest of our lives, because let me tell you, people learn racism. It's not something you're born with. So as long as people are teaching it, it's going to be there.
I was taught racism-ish. I'll hurry up. I was taught racism-ish, but I looked at what my parents were telling me and said, well, you were teaching me this because you went through those amazing things that I will not have to go through thanks to your hard work. Now, I can't hold the same grudge that you have because I don't have the same thing. But then again, I don't get pulled over randomly, and if I do, I'm like, hey, how you doing? But even still, I'm like, I'm very respectful to the people. I understand this is your job.
But most people know, because we've been all raised, generally, if the cop stops you, shut up and just go on. Just go on. Now, you know what? I'm hearing that right now. Just shut up and move on. So we will be right back with more Hot Topics.
Talk about the imitation game. The 16-year-old Cumberbatch clone that'll have you doing a double take. Next.
Hey, welcome back. You know, days after announcing he was looking into running for president, retired neurosurgeon Ben Carson wasted no time courting controversy on CNN. Take a look.
You think being gay is a choice?
Absolutely.
Why do you say that?
Because a lot of people who go into prison straight, and when they come out, they're gay. So did something happen while they were in there? Ask yourself that question.
Never go to prison, and you know there's a whole theory of dominance.
Wait a minute. I said a lot of people who go in, come out. Are you denying that that's true?
I am not denying that that's true, but I am denying that that's as a basis of understanding homosexuality.
If, in fact, that is the case, then it obviously thwarts what you just said.
I kind of feel like, you know, and Ben is a neurosurgeon, so, you know, he went to school. But I think no one comes out of prison gay.
He makes it seem like it's a pyramid scheme. Like if you make your friends gay, you get
exactly. Or if they have two friends and they have two friends and they get two friends.
I mean, well, how do you end up gay if you don't go to prison?
That is a great
Ladies and gentlemen, there she is.
Nicole, drop the mic.
That's good.
I wish your party would take him. You want him? Democrat? Trade you, Ben Carson.
You have the most colorful party.
I don't have the most colorful party.
I think he needs to watch Locked Up on MSNBC, because I get all my jail news from MSNBC Locked Up. And
so good. Friday nights after Rachel Maddow.
And Saturday and Sunday.
Exactly. You know what? watching Love, Luster, Run on Friday nights? I'm a little bit upset.
That's her show. Of course we're watching. Hey, you know, speaking of controversial opinions, last week Jimmy Kimmel called in doctors to scold parents who were not vaccinating their kids. And after the anti-vaxxers asked for equal time to give their side, here was Jimmy's reply last night. Take a look.
Some of these people are demanding that I apologize, which I, of course, will not do. Some are saying I'm attacking families with autism, which is nonsense, because I happen to be in a family with autism. A lot of these groups are insisting that I present both sides of the argument, and I'm not going to do that either because, well, for the same reason I wouldn't present both sides if a group of people decided that pancakes make you gay. They don't.
But if they were in jail, they would make you gay.
That's right.
If they serve pancakes in jail, you're gay.
I love it. There was a story in the local news here in New York that some private schools in New York City, in Brooklyn, have a 25% unvaccinated rate. I have a 3-year-old. I would never send him to a school with a 25% unvaccinated rate.
Listen, when I was a little kid, you couldn't go anywhere without a vaccine. They were always...
I witnessed a childbirth a little while ago. I'll go really fast. I witnessed a childbirth a little while ago with younger parents, and they question getting vaccinated because we're taught there's so many bad things in the world, and don't drink the water and don't do this. But if you don't, then you're going to get sicker because you have to fight off the bad things that are already in our food.
And you're going to make other people sick.
I said, you know, I grew up really poor. My mom passed away early because we could never afford to go to the doctor. And to me, medicine in my hometown is such a luxury that the idea that anybody would reject vaccines is so mind-boggling to me because my people die early because we can't afford medicine. They have that option. It's so incredible to say no.
Right.
But that's just where I come from, you know? How weird is it to think that medicine in my neighborhood is as luxurious as a Chanel bag? Like, that's mind-boggling.
I mean, it's mind-boggling to me that people don't do their homework, number one. You know, if your child gets something and goes to school, other kids may get sick too, and you may end up killing somebody. Vaccinate your damn kids. And you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it like in giant chunks. You can say to the doctor, I feel this is too many at one time. You can set this up. Don't be ridiculous. There's a reason vaccinations came into play. It's because it was killing people. Get your mind straight. We'll be right back with Felicity. So, before, I think
this dress is everything.
This,
I know, it's gorgeous.
I haven't seen this man in a very long time, and we were wild when we were younger. Well, yes, I haven't seen him in a while, so I don't know how wild he is. Somebody asked me to tell you, to ask things that we did when we were bored.
Well, where should I start? Well, yeah, one of my favorite memories of what we used to do. I remember a night in Los Angeles 20 years ago, 25 years ago. We were driving around Los Angeles together. I don't know why we were driving around. We didn't have anywhere to go, but we decided to drive up into the hills. Do you remember this? And we saw this big sign that said Mount Olympus.
Yep.
And thought, Mount Olympus? That's kind of amazing. So we drove up into Mount Olympus, and there were all these incredible, spectacular houses. You know, I mean, they were unbelievable. And we pulled over, and we got out of the car, and there were a couple of for sale signs in front of some of the houses. Yeah. And for some reason, we took those signs out and put them in front of houses that weren't for sale. And we thought this was the coolest thing you could do, so we went to other blocks and did it with those. And that was a night out.
It was a night out. So if any of y'all people coming to your house and trying to buy it, it's an art.
Yeah.
But let's go to American Crime. Oh, it made me sweat. It's an 11-episode series created and written by John Ridley, who wrote 12 Years a Slave. Yeah. It's about a murder and how it affects the families and community that's involved in it. Why only 12, and why did y'all decide to do it?
Well, it's actually 11 episodes in total, and I think for both of us, when we read the script, it was just one of the most remarkable pieces of writing we had ever seen. The characters were so fully drawn, and we didn't have anything beyond the pilot script, but we just knew we had a sense that there was something powerful about it.
And there's nothing like this on network television.
No, there's not.
There isn't.
There's nothing. And I think that just even from what we saw, what our audience just saw, the conversations on race and on class are very real. They're happening today. Was that part of the draw?
Well, you don't really. Anyway.
I know. I mean, to both of you. To both of you.
I think first and foremost, it's a great story. You don't want something just because it's ripped from the headlines, or we don't want to be preached to about racism or bigotry or crime or the judicial system. That's just not interesting. So the first thing that grabs you is, it's a great, you're looking at me like, what are you talking about?
No, because you made a comment that sounded like the calmer version of Cookie when you said, is it illegal? And she's racist too, so I love it personally. I think it's great.
Anyway, so it's a great story, and you always want to find out what happens next.
And you know, a lot of the story is about perception. How we see each other, assumptions that are made, and positions that are taken based on those.
As a Latina, I love this show. Like I can't wait to see it because I've seen it and I'm so compelled, and it's so honest and real, and it's so great. It's such an interesting story. Yeah. And I know you're married to one of my favorites ever, William H. Macy.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What, 17 years? Is it?
Yeah.
And you guys always look like you have a lot of fun. Okay, so you recently tweeted a picture that I thought was hilarious. Do we have it? I thought, what is going on in this picture right here? Is this what you guys do on an everyday, kind of like, hey, we're bored? Like,
we were getting ready for Jane Fonda's sort of gala, and Bill always gets dressed after me because I take forever, and he always plays the ukulele. So he walks around playing the ukulele, and we took a shot of it.
I love it. I love when people have really funny stories in their life, and I heard somebody puts their first Oscar in
somewhere.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
what am I talking?
When that happened, yeah, I put it in the refrigerator.
To keep
now,
it
I didn't put it in the refrigerator. My sister and I were having a party, this is years ago, and she thought it would be fun to put it in the refrigerators and tell people to go help themselves.
That's hilarious.
Open the door.
Youngest person to get an Oscar. He was only 20 years old when he got his first Oscar.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Only male, the youngest male to get an Oscar. Ever.
And Felicity, I can't let you leave without congratulating you on the 3rd anniversary, right, of What the Flicka?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell people what that is?
Yay, What the Flicka, yeah. We just celebrated our birthday, and the theater company I'm with just celebrated 30 years, so there's a lot of threes going on.
Celebrating.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's a pleasure to have you back on television, you know. It's a pleasure to have you back on television.
But more
yeah, you know. And so we thank
about Whoopi.
Felicity Huffman and Timothy Hutton. American Crime premieres tonight at 10 p.m. right here on ABC. Do yourselves a favor. You will be knocked out by it because it's extraordinary. We'll be right back.
Powerhouse producer and director Robby Benson has been a superstar on both sides of the camera for over 4 decades. Now, his son is getting into the act with a new movie called Straight Outta Tompkins and getting some help from Whoopi. Take a look.
Here, take this. It's $4,000. I know it's not all the rent, obviously, but
Wait, no. Where did you get this from?
It's real money.
You know, I've raised kids. I know when something's right and when it's not. This is not right. And I can't take cash money from a 16-year-old.
17.
Whatever. Okay. I am calling child services because this is not right.
No, please, Willow, don't. Help me out here.
Whatever, right? I mean, was that so cool?
She is so amazing.
Right?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Seriously, everybody.
Right? Yeah. It's the truth. That was so cool. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to move on. They're going to start yelling at me in my ear.
She's remarkable.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. She's gonna start poking me now. So
yes,
you starred though in classics like Ice Castle. We have the picture, right? Can we show it? Okay. And alongside Burt Reynolds and Liza Minnelli and Gene Hackman and Paul Newman, and you obviously, right? You know, you grew up with all of this, even if you were, because kids are never impressed by their parents, right? So even if you were impressed, you grew up, this was your life, this was your childhood. Was it just inevitable that this was going to happen, that you'd raise a filmmaker?
Well, yeah, as a filmmaker, yes. I was hoping that our kids would never be celebrities. I wanted them to have a craft and a skill, and it's one of the reasons I love to teach, and he's my best student.
Oh my God, I think I'm gonna cry.
Actually, student becomes teacher, actually.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
pretty brilliant.
It really is true, right?
It's absolute.
So first, Robby, I just have to say, I mean, Tiger Beat, you were on my wall with Sean Cassidy and Leif Garrett.
I'll copy that too.
Big deal that you're here. But Zephyr, you know, I know how famous your dad was. You're a lot younger than me. So, you know, did you feel your dad's fame as you were growing up, or was it something that you kind of heard more about? I mean, was he still on people's walls? Because he was on mine for a really long time.
I mean, he's still
She has not taken it down.
Yes. Really, it was crazy. He kept me away from the fame aspect of it, but he exposed me to the arts. I mean, when I was 5, he would stop a movie and show me why there was a bad cut. You know, he was...
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
I know, but really the funny part is that when I witnessed his fame, it was mostly women coming up to him and being like, oh my God! Yeah, and then their husbands standing in the background like...
Yeah, no, it was not my husband.
Yeah.
There's no husband. It was just me being like, oh my God!
These girls, they're just girls. Zephyr, tell us about the movie, because it's a remarkable piece. You're very young, and it's fabulous. So tell us what it's about.
It's about this kid growing up in New York City with the absence of his family and basically finding that family and that love within this circle of drug dealers, these upper middle class white kids who get overlooked. And I was trying to break the stereotype and show what's really going on. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm raising a 3-year-old son, so that sort of terrifies me. But and obviously you have a great family. So how much of this? What were the chunks that were autobiographical for you?
Hi, Mom. Love you, Mom.
Right. So obviously you have a great family, so that's not true to the story. But there are chunks of it that are. So can you share?
Enough of it is true.
Okay.
Let's just put it that way.
The drug use?
I grew up in New York. I grew up in New York.
You
I know.
Everything. I mean, you know, it was, it was therapeutic. It was a lot to get off my chest. A lot of it is very real. And I wanted to put myself in the position of growing up without this family and these amazing people around me who have helped me to become who I am today, you know, sitting right here with you guys.
That's amazing. And maybe you guys could adopt me too, because you obviously. Well, please come back, all 3 of you. Our thanks to Robby and Zephyr Benson. Their movie Straight Outta Tompkins opens in select theaters Friday. Go see it. We will be right back.
On ABC.
We want to tell you, Cristela is hitting the road to perform stand-up. So to find out where you can see her live, go to our website or go follow her on Twitter
at
or Facebook.
Cristela9, CristelaAlonzo.com.
And you'll get all the 411. So Raven and Stacy and Cristela will be here tomorrow to co-host. And everybody, thank you for coming out. You made us feel so good. Take a little time to enjoy the view.
Look at her.